Hello and welcome back to Mancave City. In this one, we've got 4 Halloween sets we're going to build, and I'm going to do them on speed builds. So make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll meet you at the end of the video. Okay, so these are the 4 Halloween sets we're going to be building. We've got what looks like a skeleton head, a spooky car, a train, and a little haunted house, or what looks like it could be a gravestone or something like that. Now there is 6 of these in a set, 2 of which, that one and that one, have already been built by Sophie. I've been challenged with building the other 4 so she can make the complete train. So in this video we're going to be getting that done, but not only that, I want to try and see how much of this I can change, convert, set up so it looks a lot better. Plus, maybe in this video, if not the next, we will be getting all this covered by the cloud sky. So let's have a look at the Halloween, and then we'll come back to see this and what we're going to be changing after. Okay, so the first one is done. As I say, I'm going to call it like a little skeleton pumpkin head thing. And ta-da! Intricate little builds. Got a little ghost hovering from what could be only be like a fishing rod type thing. A flower with a pumpkin on, very pretty bottom. But there is our first Halloween build. Our second Halloween build is the spooky car. Ta-da! Here it is. Cool, funky little build. You got bats for doors. You got bat wings, a giant pumpkin on the back. Little love heart lights. I love the funky little windshield as well. I mean, it's not really practical for minifigures, but as a little decoration piece, I think that is pretty damn cool. Brings us on to number 3, which is the ghost train, I'm going to call it. Really looks cool, and that's because it is. I mean, how awesome is the detail on this? Again, not minifigure scale, it's only a little build, but I tell you what, the details that's been put into such a little build is absolutely awesome. Last but not least, our little house, and boom, there it is. So we got the little door at the bottom, got some teeth, crooked planks, big spider on the top, crooked roof, spider on the back. Some interesting build techniques, especially round on this bit here, but that is absolutely awesome. So I'm going to give these to Sophie. If she ever does decide to put them all together, or get me to, I will do a follow-up video. But that's it for the Halloween builds. Now they were pretty fun, didn't take long to do, and you even got to see a speed build on them all. I don't do those very often. So then we're now boxed up and ready to go back to Sophie, pre-built in the boxes. And that is pretty much what's left of the sorting. The last bag that I had over there has finally been emptied. These are just parts I've got to put away, and these are parts I've got to sort through yet again. Now, unlike a lot of people, I'm not going to be messing around with my city every time the season changes. So I'm not going to be ghostifying it for Halloween. I'm not going to be putting pumpkins around and trick-or-treaters and all that kind of stuff, because give it a couple of weeks, I'll end up having to change it all again anyway. Plus, all this side I've got ideas for. So that is what I'm going to have a look at now. If you want to join me, carry on watching. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the elephant in the room, which is this massive empty gap at the top. Now, if you've been watching for a while, you'll know Chris Duro is somebody that not only has donated a load of road plates to me before, he also donated all this blue background. I've never met the guy, he's just a subscriber that loves the content, but I am extremely grateful for what he has done for me. So, I have got this, it has been washed. There are some sort of fold marks in it here and there, so it's not going to be perfect, but it is going to look a hell of a lot better than that. Plus, you won't really be focusing on that, that's just the backdrop, because the buildings are going to be the key part. Now, I do have a plan. I want from, say, here, raised up, and all of this across to about here is going to be a raised platform at the back. Then that will be an actual tunnel going through. That will just be walled off. Buildings like this will then sit where the road plates are now, in front, obviously, of these 4 buildings. Then the road will be moved back. Then we'll have probably a 16 by 32 coming across here, so it'll be the same width as this coming all the way across. And then we'll have the road, then we'll have the building, so we can do something at the front here. But then this side again, it's going to be raised up, have buildings in front, and hopefully it will then create a bit more space, so we're not having to kind of have buildings blocking the view behind, where you can't quite see around, you can't quite look around to see the front of the shops. I do apologise if you can hear creaking. It is my floorboards, they are rubbish. All DIY in this garage, sorry, man cave. But yeah, so that is the idea. How and where things are going to be placed, not 100% sure yet. As I say, I like how they are at the moment, but we are rapidly running out of space for buildings and views and things like that. I've got this, which is just kind of dumped here at the moment, because if anybody that has been here before remembers, the Avengers Tower did actually have an extension plate which had this bit here like basically blocked off into a little wall with like a little car park, like, well, say a car park, it was enough for one car, and then there was the gap which had that on it. So these are the kind of plans I've got. That again, you know, it's one of those, it needs to be in the corner because of how big it is. It's able to be seen. So again, that kind of ruins the idea of coming all the way across, because that needs to stand on its own. It needs to be attached to a road. So would it be like that, or would it be, let's say, just these 4 buildings are raised up with buildings in front, then this section here, which is 1, 2.5 base plates, they're raised up. Could I put those buildings over there, you know, and then it fills that wall up there? There's just so many different ideas. But then not only the fact of putting buildings in front of the raised platform, also need access to get up and down, pretty much like I've done here. So there is a lot of planning to try and figure out and what I'm going to do. This side I am finally happy with. This side is my next challenge. If you've got any ideas, drop a comment down below, let me know what you think. You can get a rough idea of how big things are. 32, 32, 32, 32. These are 32 by 48. So I mean, I've got my construction yard, but that's just basically a gap filler because nothing to put there at the moment. Plus you can see onto the road. Same with the petrol station, 32 by 48. That is a full kind of build. Again, you know, these are the sections here. So 32, 32, that's a 16, 16, 16. That is a 16 by 16. Can't really do much underneath there due to having this monstrosity. Now, I have contemplated getting rid of the train station. It gives me a little bit more play. But it's just trying to figure out how and where everything's going to go that makes sense. Not only has it got to make sense, it's also got to be practical. It's got to work, it's got to flow. It can't just be dumped and thrown around, pretty much like this thing is here. You know, that's just dumped there because I've got nowhere else to put it. But that and those three are the three biggest buildings I have. That is a complete mock of my own. Whereas that's a set, that's a set, that's a mock set, not official Lego. But again, it's all just mind games, trying to figure out where everything's going to go, how I want to place it. I mean, the schools, for example, the schools, I've done like a playground, I've got a swimming pool, a basketball court. That would be good to be kept as one section. However, I just don't have the space to keep it like that. I don't really want to take it out, but I'm starting to come to the point where everything's just getting too much, although it's not enough, if that makes sense. So please, please, please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, your ideas. What do you think I could do to improve the limited space that is in this man cave? Man Cave City needs your help.
What I'm trying to say is, we need your help!
Right, so I'm going to leave it at that until I've figured out what exactly I'm going to do, or if I get any comments, which hopefully I will, that can give me some ideas on how better to place things or where to place things. But in the meantime, thank you all very much for watching. Please make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.